When I started copywriting, I had no idea what I was doing. In fact, I believed it was some legal scripture that you'd see on cinemas or on TV shows, but I was completely wrong. All copywriting was just writing words that allow people to take action because they feel something. Mind blown. And here's the thing, if you want to get better at copywriting, which you should want to, especially if you want more money, better clients and more retention so you can stay in this game long term, then in today's video I'm going to break down 5 simple steps that you can take to make you not only a better copywriter, but have more confidence in yourself, to break down imposter syndrome and have the ability to charge what you are worth. So by the end of this video, you'll not only leave with more confidence to write better copy, but if you stick around to the end of this video, I want to show you a very simple way to help you improve your copy. So let's dive into the first step. Write copy with a pen. I know we're back to school again, whipping out the pen, writing on a notepad, but honestly, it's one of the best ways to improve your copy game almost immediately. In fact, some of the best copywriters used to do this and probably still do as a way to keep refining their craft. It's something about writing as opposed to typing that allows you to kind of retain the information a little bit more, or at least that's what I found. So here's how you do it. Find an email you like, find a landing page you like, sales page or Facebook ad, and write the entire thing by hand. Your hands might tighten up with stiffness because again they're reps in, but the benefits will outweigh the cons. And once you've written it, don't just leave it, read it out loud to yourself as well as a way just to retain the information a little bit more. If you do this for the next 30 days, you will see a noticeable difference in your copy, or at the very least become more confident in what you're writing. The next is copywriting frameworks. These are going to be an absolute game changer and allow you to write copy so much easier with a simple paint by numbers approach. Let's jump into the screen. I'll show you my favorite framework so you can use right away. Copywriting frameworks, these are the game changing when it comes to helping you with copy. Be it a social media post, be it an ad, be it a direction of an email. These frameworks will help you out massively in terms of getting to the point and stopping you veering off track so people actually understand your message, which is key. So we have a few different frameworks here. We have AIDA, PACER, PSA and BAP. Each one of these serve as a different purpose, and I'm going to dive into each one of them. So let's start with AIDA. Intention, interest, desire, action. It's a very simple formula, and an example copy could be still writing post nobody clicks on. It could be 40% of builders don't know this one thing. It could be tech technicians have made this mistake for centuries, but today, people aren't. Whatever it might be that's going to grab someone's attention because people are endlessly scrolling on their phones, you need to grab attention quite quickly, especially on social media. So think about that. Think about your target market, think about your niche, think about a unique angle, and think about what attention grab and opening could you play with. The next thing is then interest. So most people forget one interest rule, one simple rule: readers only care about what's in it for them. So now we just go a little bit further into the interest. So we kind of go back to the target market in this respect. So still writing posts nobody clicks on. The interest is most people forget one simple true rule: readers only care about what's in it for them. That leans back onto them. And then you go on to desire. So think about the bigger picture. What is it these people generally want? What is your target market aiming for? What are they striving for? What pain are they trying to get out of? So in this instance, imagine writing one post that drives leads all week. Now that could be various different examples here. The desire could be imagine waking up every morning with a spring in your step and no longer having pain in your knee. Imagine it be able to get into work and not have to rely on 3 to 4 espressos just to get through your day because you lose focus. So you kind of hint on the desire, what they want. And then the action is a very simple call to action. It could be comment below, it could be reply to the email, it could be click the link in my bio, it could be click the link here for whatever outcome you want, and that's as simple as it can be. So lay that down. Think of your target market, think of your niche, or just think of something you're going to do with your client and have AIDA written down on a piece of paper, and then think about different angles through attention, interest, desire, action. Try to do this manually, and then if you can then go to use AI, and AI can help you out there if you do get stuck. But then PACER, so problem, agitation, solution, action. Okay, so it's a little bit similar, but now we're going to start with the big old problem. So what is it your market market, your client's market is struggling with, okay? And then you're going to call it out. Your landing page looks good, but no one signs up. No one sign up is the big problem, okay? So we want to avoid that at all costs. It might be they're stuck when it comes to losing weight. They might be training for 5 days a week in the gym, but they don't see any results. It might be they've tried hiring mentors, but every time they get let down by someone. Whatever the problem is, you're then going to agitate it a little bit further. So you're just going to really bring that pain to life. So in this example, your landing page looks good, but no one signs up. And then you evolve into the solution. Now, this could be your client solution if you're working for a client, or it could be your own solution. So what is the pivotal point, essentially, that allows them to solve the solution? So you don't need more traffic, you need better copy. That's exactly what my copy clinic helps you fix. So the Copy Clinic, if you want to know, that's just a shameless plug for something I do. It's low ticket. It's a subscription whereby you can send me your copy, where it emails, through social media, and you can get eyes and feedback from me personally. I'll pop a link in the description if you want to find out more about that, but it's a very good way to practice and getting feedback on your copy. And then the action is send me your page for a free critique this week. It could be click the link in the bio. It could be reply to this keyword, whatever it might be. You're just going to get them to take action. Next one is PSA. Very similar, except we're going to do problem, then we're going to do solution, then we're going to do action. So it's more of a shorter version of this one. So email open rate stuck below 20%. That's if like in this BizOp niche. Still free subject line templates is the solution. Okay, this is a solution because now we're offering a solution to the pain point, to the problem. And then the action is the call to action. Like we said above, it could be anything. Click the link in bio, apply for a word, whatever it might be. And then BAP, before, after, and then bridge. So writing content every day and hearing critics is something that are happening before. And then after, picture your inbox filling with new client requests. So we're doing past and future. Okay, so again, and to think about a desire in that respect. And the bridge is the difference, it's the solution in that respect that pieces them together. So they get them out of the problem phase and they push them towards the future phase.
These frameworks are a fantastic starting point at any point. So if you want to kick off a post or an email or a Facebook ad, practice with these and see what you come up with and follow it like a paint by numbers solution. So you've got the copywriting frameworks and they're going to help you massively kickstart your copywriting. But the next thing is simply reading fiction books. Fiction books do something very well. They teach you narrative flow, emotional timing, how to build a character, and the same tools that make copy stick. Remember, people buy because they genuinely like who you are, but also people buy because of a fantastic story behind it. It's why you tell stories over the campfire. It's why you tell stories in the caveman times. It's why you often feel lost in a good story. It's because a story is a fantastic way to connect an idea with a problem to offer a solution when it comes to the copy world. So have a look around your home. Read non-fiction books. Reading books will help you flex your storytelling muscle. I mean, think of it this way. If you've ever cried over a character, you felt angry for whatever reason, you felt frustrated because you read a few lines or a chapter and you're like, oh, why did that happen? Then that's a fantastic example of how they've just got into your head, how they built an emotion, and how they've been relatable. Everything that good copy is. And if you want some real stories, go on to Amazon reviews, Trustpilot reviews, Reddit. You'll pick up some gold there of what people are generally feeling, what they're generally thinking, and that can be used when it comes to writing fantastic copy because you've already done some deep research with your market. So we've got the frameworks and we've got the fiction books and also we've got the writing as well, which is great. But the next thing is key. And that is having some sort of guidance in terms of a mentor. Now, there are two ways in which you can do this. You can use AI because you can ask AI, can you copy chief my social post, my email, my landing page, whatever it is you've written, and just tear it to shreds for me. No remorse, just tear the fucking thing apart. And it will give you some feedback, it will give you some critique, and you might be painful, it might, but it's a very good way to improve your copy. The second thing is what I did. Now, during lockdown, everything went tits up, let's be honest, but I didn't really know what copywriting was. I didn't really know how to get better at it. I'd sunk my teeth into books, and that made a big difference. But what really leveled up my game was having someone there to help me. So I found a mentor. Let's just move on to the next thing because this is absolutely key. We've built the foundations, but now we need to tap into your audience psyche to make the real difference. And how we do that is incredibly simple. Let's dive in.
So this is where we're going to take things to a whole nother level. So you have the frameworks, you have the book ideas, you have the mentoring ideas, and writing it by hand, which is great. But now we need to go on a deeper level. So here, I've got a few ideas, got relatability, fears, frustration, desires, and aspiration, everything else. These are all the things that you need to be talking about in your marketing. So when it comes to relatability is the first one. This is where you are going to resonate with your market, with a problem, with a pain, with a personal experience. So we're going to speak to your audience, not at them. All right. So that is the absolutely key. You don't just say you're stupid because that's a silly idea. You could say something lines of when I was back in school, I wasn't the most brightest kid in class. In fact, I failed most of my GCSEs because all I wanted to do was spend more time outside and less time in the classroom. And maybe that sounds like you. So that's a way to kind of like resonate and be relatable, but without actually throwing, crap at them and saying, you're stupid. We're framing it by the way we're being relatable. So therefore they get it and therefore deeper emotional understanding. And use their language and their tone in real life experience exactly the same. So you have to get an idea of who your market are, how they speak, and where fears and frustrations, which then moves into the next one, which is fears and frustrations. So keep them stuck or second guessing themselves. What pains do they wish someone would finally solve? Don't shy away from the pain and knowledge of empathy. So everyone has a pain point who wants to solve a problem. People generally buy stuff because it's a solution to a problem that they have. If it's a winter, for instance, then they need to buy a winter jacket because the problem is that they're cold. Okay, so and the fear is maybe they get hypothermia or they just freeze and it's just uncomfortable and it's frustrating. So what keeps your audience second guessing themselves? This could be anything depending on what kind of niche you are in. It helps massively to do your research. So that is part of a huge emphasis on how to get better copy is research everything. Okay, it's a lot easier nowadays with AI, of course, but obviously do it manually as well. It helps massively. So have a think about what keeps your audience stuck at night, what pain points do they have, what fears do they have, what frustrations do they have, and then you present the problem. And then you present your offer in a way that solves that problem. And happy days, you've hit a good key. The next one is desires and actions. So again, just like the fears and the frustrations, you're now going to think about what do they really want? What is the outcome they desire? What is their dream outcome? Do they want to get out of pain? Most people do. Do they want more hope? So they want a better quality of life down the line? Do they want something aspirational? What is it exactly that they want down the line? Because it's going to be different. For instance, someone who plays golf, improving their golf swing and having more options to get a hole in one, it's going to be completely different to someone who simply wants to lose weight or someone who wants to make money. So understanding this is absolutely key when it comes to talking about it in your emails and your content and your ads. Beliefs and barriers. Everyone has limiting beliefs, and it's your job to kind of shift those beliefs and change them in a way that makes them see you as the go-to person or the go-to business for yourself or for your client. So what stories are they telling themselves that hold them back? Have a think about it. If you don't know, go into places like Reddit, Trustpilot, go into YouTube, books, ask current clients, ask past clients, or just do some deep dive research yourself on AI and stuff, and to come up with as many barriers that people may have, because then each one of those barriers you can then talk about in your content, and that's one barrier for one piece of content. That's a lot of content. So definitely think about the beliefs and the barriers, and then show your solution shifts those barriers without making them wrong. Okay, so you need to present this correctly. So you can't just say you're wrong for thinking about this. You could say many people think that, let's say making money is all down to, just hustle, hustle, hustle. And, I completely understand that. So that's been relatable because I used to be the same. I used to hustle 60 hours a week at the very start of my journey. But if I could go back in time, I know that was completely the wrong way to do things. And if that was you, I totally get it. But here's the better idea. And that way you've just made a switch. You've also been relatable. You've also had some pain as well. So you've done a bit of both. So that is something else. And then emotion and logic. So emotion captures attention, logic gives permission to say yes, and your copy needs to do both, which it does. So you need to tap into the emotion, which is system one. Quick emotional thinking, but you need to back it up with some sort of credibility, some sort of you need to back up with some sort of credibility. Okay, so going back an example, you could say So to give you a real example, if you're going out shopping, you might see a jacket you really like, but it's the height of summer, you don't need a jacket. But so you're purely acting on emotion. You then have to back it up with logic. Why do you need that? Well, because I don't have a jacket, or because I don't like my jacket, or my jacket has holes in it, or we're only a couple of months away from summer, or because it's cheaper now. So you need to back it up with some sort of logic there. And that is where your emotion ties in with logic. Be emotive, but also be credible at the same time to make it make sense. And then clarity over cleverness. Forget about hype words or buzzwords or complex stuff, because people don't know what that means. And if they do, it's just an absolute ball ache to try and understand what it means. So keep everything super, super simple. An app I like to use for this is kind of like Hemingway app. You can have a look on it, desktop or mobile phone, and it just allows you to write more simply, more clearly. But honestly, forget about long words. Just be clear in everything you say, and don't try to be over clever or complex. Simplicity wins every time. So just a quick recap: start with some empathy so you understand, amplify the pain, offer hope and a clear solution, and end with energy and direction, so a call to action as to what to do next. And happy days, just practice these. Make sure you sprinkle some of this stuff into all your content. Not saying you need every single one of these in just one post, you don't, but you can add them everywhere. But you can add them at different parts of the journey, different parts of the funnel, different parts of emails, ads. There's loads of ways in which you can do it. But yeah, that is everything. But yeah, that's number 5.
All of these things should help you become a better copywriter, and I'm excited for that. And if they have, just make sure you like and subscribe to help you out more than you know. I'll be uploading another video next week. And if you want to continue learning more about building an online business, whether it's freedom, whether it's high-ticket affiliate, whether it's copywriting, or any of the sorts, some links are in the description. Go and pick one was best, and I will see you on the next video.